Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, this is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Coming up, this week's events calendar. Looking for something to do, we got it for you. Konrad has This Week in Auto History, and we'll get you updated on the stories making car news this week. Howdy, along with out of his chair, Mike Out of This World Mars, King Konrad DeLong, Jeffrey Zekin.
Yep. No.
You don't want to turn my mic on? Yeah,
I do.
Thank you.
But you know, you guys have been fooling around over there.
Well, we've had some technical issues. You know, none of this would have happened if
you know.
it didn't
I don't
happen
know what
last
it. What? So what is it? Why is it that every week there has to be some sort of a technical issue?
Well, this one
Satellites.
is Comcast related.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden during the show, the internet
Tanks.
feed went down, and I think the funnel of how much you could put through the
Comcast. We're
pipe-
not connected to Comcast.
We were on a hotspot.
We're on a Comcast. We were on a Comcast hotspot.
No, not Comcast. You're on Verizon or
Verizon,
T-Mobile or one of those.
Somebody's internet got overloaded.
Stop it. Whatever you're doing out there, stop it.
Stop it right
We didn't have
now.
these issues when I was at the board.
That's correct.
No, we did not. We had a different set of issues, apparently. I was not witness to it, but apparently a lot of other people were.
Can I get a witness?
Can I get a
Can I
witness?
get a witness?
Amen, brother.
By the way, speaking of that, I have to tell you, side story.
Okay.
I went to see the Broadway play Sister Act
Oh, that's
with
right.
my daughter
Yeah.
last Sunday. Oh, my gosh. What a great, great play that is.
Did you like that?
Musical. Yes, I did.
well, I like the movie.
If you like the movie, you're going to love this. Not much has changed. The story plot's still the same, but the music is spectacular. And I did not realize it, but the cast is mainly Houston, Texas cast.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You would have you would think this was right off of Broadway. They were that good.
That's cool.
And the lady that played Dolores, oh my God, she's so good. She is so good, fabulous singer. And my daughter told me, she says, Dad, she appeared on, I don't know what it was, not Dancing with the Stars, one of those other
Singing
singing,
talent shows,
yeah. So, and she won.
America's Got Talent or something
One
like
of those. And
Great.
she was spectacular.
Huh.
And it's this is the last weekend for it. So if you get a chance, buy yourself a seat, go down there. You will truly enjoy it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it really is. All right. I tried to get to this last week, but needless to say, I wasn't here. I was called out to work, and I had to go to the job that actually makes me able to do this.
Lets you
and
afford this wonderful
studio.
Madison or mansion compound
Madison
here.
Avenues.
Madison Avenue, yeah,
mansion
compound.
down here in Sugar Land,
Gated
Texas.
compound.
Gated compound, right?
Yes, gated compound.
Just off camera, there's wall shackles and a rope over there.
What kind of shackles?
Wall shackles.
Wall shackles.
Shackles on the wall.
I see. Not ankle or wrist shackles.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Just hang you upside down.
Something
That's
upside
right.
down.
Well, that's nothing unusual. Oh. All right. So a couple of weeks ago, actually it was week before last, that Ford Motor Company, sent out this thing that Ford is going to start building the Bronco DR. First ever limited edition production desert racer DR. What are you doing?
Well, we're listening to your story about the Bronco Desert Racer.
No, Mars is leaning over here like he's going to kiss Jeff or something.
Yeah, well-
It's like, what in the world?
Well, it is
Well, nobody's watching them.
Yeah,
so
it is
go ahead,
9:30.
talk.
As long as they're watching you, it
So,
don't matter.
yeah.
Okay.
Every day at 9:30.
So, at any rate, called the Desert Racer, and it is designed to take on the Baja 1000 with V8 power. Okay, that's the headline. There it is right there. They're only going to build a limited number of these things, the initial run of 50 vehicles. Now, granted, it does cost $200,000.
Whoa.
And they will sell out of them.
Oh,
If
they
haven't
probably
already.
I was going to say they
You're
probably
going to have to be on a list of
Yeah.
people connected.
So it is targeting to be the most powerful production Bronco ever built. Needless to say, it will have a Coyote 5.0-liter V8 engine that's targeting more than 400 horsepower. Nothing's official yet on any of this, but this is their initial PR move, okay? This is one bad to the bone mother, shut your mouth. You know what I'm talking about? Talking about shaft.
It's hauling donkey.
It is hauling donkey.
No, it's hauling Bronco.
So let's see. The Bronco DR prototype will make its race debut next year, targeting entry in the 2022 Score Baja 1000, wearing Ford Performance red, white, black, and blue livery, honoring the Baja 1000 victory back in the day. The first 50 units of the 2023 Bronco DR will be available for sale in late 2022, with a starting price in the mid $200,000 range. Okay, you just keep rolling those photographs. I mean, it gives you an idea of.
But this goes back to Ford's history of the Bronco. The original Bronco was like a 4-cylinder only, and then an inline 6-cylinder.
Look at that.
And then they offered it with the V8, and the Bronco, to this day, the original short wheelbase Bronco, is still a very popular car at Baja.
And yes,
Is there a big driver name behind it, like a Robbie Gordon?
No, they haven't gotten that far yet.
So they're going to develop that same history with
It says here that the
Bronco.
collaboration between Ford Performance and Multimatic, who's the company that's actually going to build this racer, continues the Bronco Desert Racing legacy that dates back to Rod Hall and Larry Minor's never-repeated overall Baja 1000 win in a stock Bronco in 1969.
With a 302.
Yeah.
So it had a 5-liter V8, just not the Coyote and all the hot rod pieces that this one has.
It has a Haas suspension system. Okay? Adding positional selective DSSV dampers with 80-millimeter bodies with finned fluid cooling channels, as well as Multimatic designed billet aluminum lower control arms. Compared to a 4-door Badlands Series Bronco, Bronco DR is targeting 55.1% more front suspension travel at 15.8 inches and 58.6% more at the rear 17 inches for remarkable capability over nearly any terrain. Hello.
Well, and that's purely to go racing the Baja 500.
It rides on 37-inch BF Goodrich Mud Terrain TA KM3 all-season tires and with beadlock wheels. This is made for strictly racing. It's not available for street at all.
Well, and it wouldn't be the Ford's first venture into building vehicles that are not streetable. Think about the Cobra jets that they build for NHRA.
Yeah. Let's see. DR is fit with tested and proven 10R80 transmission and electric shift-on-the-fly transfer case that they actually use for the Ford F-150. The torque is transmitted via independent electronically locking front and rear differential with 470 drive ratios. Yeah, 470. Can you imagine how that engine must scream? Large intakes on the upper sides and another on the roof provide additional cooling air to the rear-mounted radiator. 65-gallon fuel tank rides below the cargo area.
Lower the center of gravity.
Bronco DR carries over the four-wheel disc brakes from the production Bronco and adds upgraded pads. That says a lot for the stock stuff.
The strength of the production brakes.
While the electric power-assisted steering system with upgraded inner tie rod joints makes for increased articulation.
I like that articulation.
You do too?
Yeah.
I do too. You and me both.
It's too close to tickle.
Oh.
He's the guy that's on the drunk show where they make the liquor.
Moonshine guy.
Moonshiners.
He also does a barbecue show, too.
Does he?
Does he really? He really does?
It's Moonshine and Barbecue. It's on the same channel. It's on the Discovery Channel.
More than a muscular fiberglass race body that builds on the heritage-inspired style of the 6th-generation Bronco, behind the resin transfer molded or RTM fiberglass body panels, the Bronco DR retains the 4-door model's frame and body structure. For desert racing optimization and weight saving, the air conditioning system, other interior amenities, and all the glass have been removed. Well,
makes sense.
let's hope so. But I just thought that it was an interesting story. And the fact that Ford's going to build 50 of these things. You know it's already sold out.
Oh, and probably of the 50 that they build, 20 of them will go into some various collection somewhere. But I bet you 20 plus of them will show up at Baja. And they will have various teams are trying to run them.
Listen,
those original trucks are still running Baja.
Do you realize that whole Baja thing? Think about that. Going as fast as the thing will go with no road beneath you.
I'm dirt.
Well, there is road there.
No, there's not road there.
Making
it's a dirt road.
It's a dirt road.
Let's go make
But
road.
they go ahead and scout where they're going. The track is similar. There's thousands of people lined up on the side, building ditches and jumps, trying to ruin your day, and they get caught doing that.
And so that is going to not scare the hell out of you?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, here I am doing 120 miles an hour, and they built this jump that's out of sequence, and I'm going to endo. You can see the videos.
End over end. I mean, this is crazy stuff, that off-road stuff.
Yeah.
Do you remember the off-road? It was a series, and they went to different stadiums around the United States.
Yep.
And it was televised, a lot of it.
Super truck.
Yeah, they still do. Stadium racing.
I don't think that they have a real circuit anymore.
No.
I know that back in the day, they came to the Astrodome.
Right.
And
exhibition type.
well, no, it was
it was
competition.
There was full-on competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I remember in the L.A. Coliseum, they came out from the top and down through the stands.
I love that.
Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, it was. And I'd love to see that again. I'd go to see that because it's within the confines of the stadium with all the jumps and the tunnels and turns and everything. I mean, that is some crazy stuff. It's not at all like monster trucks. Not at all.
No.
This is serious side-by-side racing.
When you mentioned monster trucks are tonight and at the Lone Star Convention Center in Conroe. So it'll be a little smaller than going to the Astrodome, go to Lone Star Convention Center. They have monster truck racing there tonight.
I appreciate the monster trucks, and I know that the kids do. I know if I were a 10-year-old boy, I'd be all over that. But
I'll have to get one of my workmates took his 3-year-old son to the monster trucks that were here at the Astrodome recently, and I'll have to ask him if I can post the video of his son watching these trucks and how his eyes just kind of bugged out, and you just see this joy in his face, and you can hear Jacob in the background going, "Oh, he's a fan for life."
absolutely.
And those are alcohol injected,
supercharged
engines. I mean, those are pretty loud,
very loud,
loud vehicles.
Yeah.
But
I can just imagine as a kid, especially 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. Oh my gosh, I'd have been so all over
Jason.
that.
Jason and I used to go to.
Did you? Yeah. But that off-road racing, that stadium racing thing, I wish they'd bring that back. I just thought that was the cat's meow.
They do have. You had mentioned Robbie Gordon earlier. Mm-hmm. They do have a series that's run generally in conjunction with some of the IMSA races. That are these. Not stadium trucks, but they're these purposely built trucks, and they bring out these steel ramps,
on the country,
and they catch these, 120 foot long jumps off of these steel ramps.
Got to be on the straightaway.
Yeah, well, yeah. But but that's some pretty crazy racing as well. That they're actually road racing, but it's not off road, and there's no dirt involved. It's all asphalt.
Crazy stuff. Well, anyway, congratulations to Ford for doing that. And I was talking to another friend of mine about the new Bronco because they were interested in it. And I said, get one. I love that.
I'm starting
Bronco.
to see a few of them on the road.
Oh, not the Bronco Sport.
No.
Give credit where credit's due. I like the Bronco Sport also. But that Bronco, that is the cat's meow. I'm telling you.
So how long before you think they do an EV?
It's probably already built. It's probably already
the
done.
The full electric.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It's done.
I'm sure that they actually designed the setup so it'd be very easy to drop one in there.
Considering Hummer and Rivian and all of those are bragging about their off-road capabilities. So how do you get an EV to go 1,000 miles?
Well, I don't know about
long
desert
cord.
racing.
You know that's going to be in the plan.
1,000-mile extension cord. There you go.
Nice. I like it. Sure, that'll work.
They'll do some kind of battery cartridge.
Plug into the cactus.
Yeah, and do it. Change
truck
out.
pulls in, they recartridge the battery,
Yeah.
the battery set in it, and off he goes.
Yeah,
I imagine that would also be part of their plan.
The
in
chase
future.
vehicle's diesel.
Matter of fact, I saw one of those the other day, and more people are posting that, where somebody runs out of juice in their
there's a
electric,
generator.
and there comes the tow truck with the generator pulling behind it to plug it in for 30 minutes.
AAA.
Yeah.
If they're smart. The question is, how do you carry 220 on a tow truck? But I guess they do carry 220 because they
With
do
the generator.
Well, with the generator, but they do welders on the back of trucks, so they'd have the amperage to put out to recharge you. Hold on tight. Let me hold on over there because I'm not going to hold on to the metal truck while I'm
And
bumping
don't stand
220.
in the water.
Yeah. Excuse me. I get hazard pay if it's raining when you got me to come out here to jump.
Hey, man, I sure do like those platform rubber boots that you've got on. Well, they're for a reason, so I don't get electrocuted.
Yeah, I have to test them every 6 months and replace them every other year.
Yeah.
Well, when I go into all these car dealerships that are doing EVs, they literally have to rope off. When they're working on that component to the vehicle, they have to rope the area off with stuff that's provided by the manufacturer. They have to wear special gloves, and those gloves have to be tested so often for current transfer and then replaced. I think it's every 18 months, but they have to be tested every 6 months and replaced. So the safety is a big issue when you're working on an EV because that kind of voltage and amperage
will kill you.
Will kill you.
Instantly.
I couldn't tell you how many times I've taken, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 volts on a spark plug, but there's no amperage. The voltage doesn't kill you. The amperage is what kills you. The voltage is just what gets you.
You had me at rubber gloves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But so I imagine even those people that are going out to jumpstart these vehicles or to try and power them up, they've probably got to take a course of some kind, a safety course.
At least safety.
To make sure they understand what they're doing.
You want to do This Week in Auto History?
Well,
I know that you have that, don't you?
Yep.
Okay.
Jeffrey?
Yes, sir.
So, and we've had them on the show.
Oh, Lord.
And we talked about it a little bit this morning, and that is the official numerical designation of the Will Rogers Highway of Route 66.
It's Route 66.
Route 66. I'm a Yankee, forgive me. Route 66.
Route.
In 1926, Route 66 was given Route 66. The whole 2,448 miles of it from Chicago to Los Angeles was given its designation. And it was actually used as a huge trucking transit highway because it dipped down under the bad weather that you could get if you were trying to cross through, Nebraska, Wyoming, and Utah and stuff. So,
Route.
And then the symbol. Go ahead, flip to the next one. The symbol is iconic of Route 66.
Route.
It doesn't matter which way I say it, you're going to give me the other one, right?
Uh-huh.
You betcha.
And in 1956, on this day, the Ford Motor Company decided to name Edsel as the new model that was under development for the 1958 market. The addition of the Ford family automobile would be a tribute to Edsel Bryant Ford, who served as the company president from 1919 till his death in 1993.
Kind of facial features like that grill.
Yep. So
It
advance a little
does
bit.
have the facial features of the grill.
And then
the
this
horse
was the
collar
90
grill.
Yep, there
you
it
know,
is.
the Edsel, the
Oh.
iconic car that I thought was
I actually
way ahead
like
of its
it.
time. And then in 1960,
McNamara.
Robert McNamara, who came from the Ford company, he was on the job for less than a month. He went to Washington, D.C. to become JFK's
Wasn't he governor of
Secretary of
Michigan?
Defense.
Wasn't he a governor of Michigan?
No, that was Romney.
Romney, that's what the Romney family.
But McNamara went on to be a Secretary of Defense during the Vietnam War. And then in 1995, Art Arfons, drag racer from Ohio, built a land speed record using a surplus J79 jet engine and went out to Bonneville and went 434 miles an hour.
We know his daughter, I think it is, some relative. Sherry Arfons. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, wasn't that engine out of a helicopter?
No, this was out of a jet.
Okay.
Out of a jet. Well, the other thing is this is also the car that Mary Skelton drove. Or Betty Skelton drove.
Skelton. Yeah, yeah.
She drove Art Arfond's car,
Yeah.
and she actually set a record for a woman going, I think she went 303 one direction, 240 something. I think her record was like 276.
Perfect.
I remember when all that started back in the day, and that was like, wow, he went that fast.
And then, like, a week later, Craig Breedlove beat Arfond's record, and then Arfond's beat Breedlove.
Back and forth.
And then Gabelich jumped into the middle of it.
When will it stop?
And then Noble, the guy from Great Britain, there was about 4 or 5 guys that kept on doing this.
Nice.
Who was it that drag raced was it Arfond's that did the Green Monster?
Right.
Yeah.
And then in 1978, that is the Dukes of Hazzard launch. That's the iconic automobile, 1969 Dodge Charger, named the General Lee after and in the Dukes of Hazzard movie or TV show that aired from 1979 through 1985. This is the only video of that made every single episode of the show, because that was in the closing credits, and that was the only car that made every single show. They went through
27 of them or something.
They went through more than 300 different General Lees appeared in the series, which ran for those 6 years.
Well, just that jump alone would probably destroy the entire car.
Yeah, go ahead, give me the next picture. You will. They flip that. That is supposed to be what that car looked like at the end of the jump, and they just kept that car at the end of that jump, which clearly it kind of nosed over a little bit.
Well.
But the other thing is they were collecting, next picture, they were collecting 69 Dodge Chargers all around the country and had them parked ready to go on the show. It'd be interesting to talk to the guy that we had at Keels and Wheels,
right.
To understand a little bit more. I don't think they did. He didn't do Dukes of Hazzard, but how he talked about when they bought all those Ford Falcons for Ford versus Ferrari, and how all of a sudden the word got out and the price of all the Falcons he had to buy went up.
Yep.
How that happened back when they were doing Dukes of Hazzard, and they destroyed a lot of 69 Chargers, and I think they destroyed some 70s and some 68s as well in the
process.
Close enough.
Some of the stories making automotive news headlines this week: more than 1/3 of Cadillac's U.S. dealerships are disappearing this year as the brand begins its transition to an all-electric vehicle portfolio. But the remaining stores accounted for more than 90% of Cadillac sales, which says that those 1/3, most of them weren't doing all that great.
Onesie-twosie stores, but they were serving Cadillac customers out in the hinterland.
The decline was driven by buyout agreements Cadillac began offering to dealers a year ago. Those offers to walk away from the franchise ranged from $200,000 to 7 digits.
Now, there's other influences in why these guys were selling out. And you mentioned it about the cost of revamping their service departments to do EVs. They were saying could be in excess of $250,000.
Sure. Easily. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. J.D. Power, 2021 U.S. Sales Satisfaction Index released Wednesday found that satisfaction among online car shoppers was higher in both the premium and mass market segments than among those buyers who visited a brick-and-mortar dealership. But the study revealed that electric vehicle buyers were less satisfied with the sales experience than shoppers of internal combustion engines. Porsche was the highest-scoring luxury brand of the 2021 study. German sports car maker rose 5 spots from a year earlier. Among mass-market brands, GMC ranked highest in satisfaction, displacing Mini from the top spot. Brands showing the greatest improvement in year-over-year satisfaction scores were, ready? Jeep with a gain of 24 points on the survey's 1,000-point scale.
Wow.
Chevy up 17 points. Dodge up 17 and Ram up 14. J.D. Power calculates a brand score by factoring in what customers say about the delivery process of their purchase, dealer personnel, the negotiation of the deal, paperwork completion, perceptions of the dealership facility, and their satisfaction with the dealership's website. Study surveyed 35,000 buyers who purchased and leased a new vehicle from March through May of this year. All right. A reminder that we'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for a quick break. We'll be right back here on the In Wheel Time Car Show.
Hey, Houston, it's back! America's greatest hot rod tradition is on Thanksgiving weekend. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama at the George R. Brown Convention Center. 4 days of hot rods, customs, classics, trucks, and performance cars featuring the ultimate lowrider showcase. Sponsored by Shorty's Hydraulics and the Traditional Rod Garage. Saturday only, it's the Tuner Galleria with 250 imports, JDM, and luxury cars, plus music and models. Autorama. It's so much more than a car show. On the celebrity stage, presented by Nick's Auto Repair and Classic Car Restoration, it's Chip Foose from TD's Overhauling on Friday and wrestling superstar Sting on Sunday. Shop the swap meet and women's world all weekend. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama. November 25th to 28th at the George R. Brown Convention Center. Discount tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Part of the Summer Racing Equipment Show Car Series. See Autorama.com.
Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly cruise-in, will return Saturday, December 18th to the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy. Tailpipes and Tacos wants to thank all of the participants and fans who've enjoyed the collector cars, hot rods, customs, originals, and resto mods, and everything in between. We'll be taking a break for Thanksgiving and Autorama, but we'll be back for a great Christmas cruise-in on December 18th, so make plans now. You know that Tailpipes and Tacos is the Houston area's coolest cruise-in, a place you'll see friends, family, and the finest cruise-in cars in the Houston area. It all happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for a very special Christmas cruise-in, Loopy style. It's Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, December 18th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Let's celebrate the Christmas season together at the next Tailpipes and Tacos on December 18th. We'll see you then, weather permitting.
Gulf Coast Auto Shield has moved to a more convenient location. Now you can visit John Gray and his staff of dedicated professionals at their new shop on the South Sam Houston Parkway between Belford and Airport in Southwest Houston. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is the best at paint correction and ceramic coatings. Clear bras and custom wraps are specialties that only Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs with award-winning accuracy, and all their services come with a warranty. Lamborghini, Aston Martin, Porsche, and Ferrari owners depend on Gulf Coast Auto Shield for their specialty services, and you should too. The In-Wheel Time Corvette and Cutlass have both been massaged by Gulf Coast Auto Shield, so isn't it time your vehicle visit their new shop in Southwest Houston? Call John Gray today at 832-930-5655 or visit online at gcautoshield.com. That's gcautoshield.com. Paint, coatings, wraps, and more at gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.